What's up, everyone? I'm the Nostalgic Book Potato. Last week, I mentioned how I've been wanting to reread A Series of Unfortunate Events. It was one of my favorite series as a kid, and I would love to reread all the books. But I can't find them. I looked in the basement again and only found the last two books. But I did find a Redwall book, which, as I mentioned, is another favorite series from my childhood. So maybe I'll read that to fulfill my nostalgic craving. For some reason, the spines of these books really stood out to me. But anyway, back to A Series of Unfortunate Events. I swear, I have a vivid image of all of them in a plastic container with other kids' books. But they're not in the spot I thought they were in the basement, so I have no clue where they are. But, as you know, I love judging books by their covers, so I'm here with another book cover tier ranking video. It'll also be a chance to at least reminisce about the books, see how much I remember about them, and yeah, I think it'll be fun to go down memory lane, since I've actually read all of these ones, I think. Unlike the other tier ranking videos I've done. So, here are the tiers. In honor of all the alliterative titles in the series, I've made my tiers alliterations too. The bottom tier is Terrible Tableau, so unfortunately I think these ones are ugly. Next is Dull Depiction, for ones that are kind of just boring. The middle tier is Fair Fable. These are ones that are just fine. Next is Pretty Portrayal, pretty self-explanatory. And then top tier is Beautiful Book. So let's start with book 1, The Bad Beginning. Oh, before I forget, the video is going to be Spoiler City, because I'm going to be talking about whatever I happen to remember about all of the books, so that will probably be very spoilery. So you have been warned. So book 1, in terms of being a good cover, I think this is a good setup for the story. So the three Baudelaire siblings, Violet, Klaus, and Sunny, are orphaned because their parents died in a mysterious fire. So they're sent to live with their weird uncle Olaf. Olaf is out for their parents' fortune, so he orchestrates a scheme to marry Violet in a play, because he's part of a theater troupe and they're putting on a play. But he makes it legally binding by having a real judge proceed over the wedding scene in the play. But then Violet is like, ha! I didn't really write my real signature, or something like that, so it's not valid. But also, can we talk about how Olaf was trying to marry his niece? I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be their uncle. Maybe it's by marriage, so they're not blood related, but still. I know he's only doing it for the money, but still. But aside from that, I think in terms of cover, this one is a fair fable. Alright, so book 2, The Reptile Room. So the Baudelaire siblings have been moved to another uncle, one who is a herpetologist, which is someone who studies snakes and reptiles. One thing I remember loving about this series is how it expanded my vocabulary. I learned so many cool new words, like herpetologist. And it's not like he just drops a big word, he would define it and contextualize it in the story. So that was something that I really loved about this series. I'm a big word nerd, big nerd in general. If I could, I would love to do a PhD in linguistics just for fun. Which, I mean, PhDs are not fun, so it probably wouldn't be fun, but I just feel like learning linguistics would be pretty cool. So yeah, I remember there's a big scary snake that gets on the loose, but it's not venomous, so it's pretty harmless. You know what? Oh my gosh. So, big spoiler. I think Olaf kills the herpetologist uncle and frames the snake. But the kids are like, no, it couldn't have been the snake. It's not actually venomous. So yeah. Oh, you know what? It's actually called something like venomous or scary, but it's a misnomer. Yeah, misnomer, or a word synonymous with misnomer, which was another word that I learned from this series. Oh man, so many things just came to my mind. Memory is such a cool thing. But in terms of the cover, I think that this one is another fair fable. Put that there. Book 3, The Wide Window. So now the siblings are shipped off to their neurotic aunt's house. It's on like the edge of a cliff or something, very precarious location. And I remember the aunt is really weird. Like, she only eats cold food. She's very strict about grammar. And so when Olaf seduces her and whisks her away, she leaves a note for the kids that's riddled with grammar mistakes. So they realize it's like a coded message, and it leads them to find her in like a cave or something like that. I don't know what ended up happening to her though. I don't know. She either like drowns in the lake or is like eaten by the lake monster or something. Or maybe like her house falls off the cliff. I don't know. I feel like it was something really dramatic. Yeah, but I think that this cover is actually kind of pretty. So we'll put you in pretty portrayal. Book 4, The Miserable Mill. Honestly, I don't remember a thing about this one. Yeah, and I don't think the cover is really giving me anything, so we'll put this one in dull depiction. Book 5, The Austere Academy. I remember austere, a new vocab word from the series. But again, I'm not really remembering anything about the plot. The cover looks very Oliver Twist. Yeah, no offense to Oliver Twist, but this one is kind of a dull depiction. Book 6, The Ersatz Elevator. I wish I remember what ersatz meant. That's another good vocab word, but it's lost to me. Okay, so according to dictionary.com, serving as a substitute, synthetic, artificial. So this book is called A Fake Elevator. Is this the one where there's like a red herring, like a literal red herring? And it's thought to be like a red herring in the figurative sense, but then it isn't? Like someone is like hiding in the red herring or something. I don't know. But yeah, I think this one is a fair fable, I guess. Book 7, The Vile Village. Oh, don't remember anything about this one. It's a pretty dramatic looking cover. It's not like quite pretty, but it's not dull. Like it's in between. It's not fair. I wish there was like one in between fair and pretty. I'm gonna put it in just fair fable. Okay. Book 8, The Hostel Hospital. I don't remember anything about this one either. But I do remember that a man with a hook for a hand is one of Olaf's henchmen. So this dude is a bad guy. So that doesn't bode well. I'll say that this one is another fair fable. Book 9, The Carnivorous Carnival. I remember the kids have to join a carnival and Violet's act as like being ambidextrous. Like that's the only cool thing she can do. So she just like sits and writes with one hand and then switches to the other. Like, ooh, what a freak. But fun fact, I am a little bit ambidextrous. Can you guess which one is written by my dominant hand? Also, something I forgot to mention is that like each of the siblings has their own quirk. Like Violet always puts her hair up in a ribbon when she needs to think, like such a manic pixie dream girl thing to do. And Klaus, I don't know, he likes to read a lot or like write down words or something like that. And Sunny has razor sharp teeth and likes to bite things. So yeah. Honestly, I don't remember anything about lions in the plot. So I don't know how I feel about this cover. It's kind of, not really giving me any feelings. It's kind of in between fair and dull. We'll put it in fair. All right, book 10, The Slippery Slope. No clue. No clue about this one. I don't remember a thing. I guess we can put you in fair fable. I mean, like, this frozen waterfall is, like, kind of cool. Book 11, The Grim Grotto. Ooh, do they have, like, an uncle with a submarine called the Nautilus? Or am I am I thinking of Captain Nemo from the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen? I don't know, but this cover is actually interesting. I think I would put this one in pretty portrayal. Yay. Okay, book 12, The Penultimate Peril. You know, you really have to applaud him for coming up with 12 alliterative titles. That's impressive. It was hard enough coming up with 5 tier titles. Penultimate was also another fun vocab word. It means second to last, and this is the second to last book, so it makes sense. All right, so it looks like they are working at a hotel. Like, who hires a baby to work at a hotel? Okay. Oh, okay, I remember. They work at a place called Hotel Denouement, which was another fun word. I think it means like plot reveal or like the point of like a story when something is revealed. And there was like a big pool in the front of the hotel, and you could always see the reflection in the pool. And so the big reveal, so like major spoiler alert. I mean, if you still need one at this point, like really. But the big reveal is that it wasn't a reflection in the pool, but another identical secret hotel underwater. But yeah, I don't know why there was a secret hotel. Let's say that this one is a fair fable. I mean, it's kind of interesting. Like, you can tell there's some mystery, some intrigue happening in this story. So yeah, the final book. Book 13, The End. Honestly, I have no clue how the series ended. I mean, it looks like Olaf is no more. So, yay, I guess. Does their social worker eventually take them in? Like, there's a social worker that carts them off to all these horrible places, and then always realizes too late that Olaf is on the scene. So is that what happened? Or is it just like, oh well, we'll just like get by on our own with our parents' fortune? I don't know. Maybe I should just like read the last 2 books since I actually have them on hand. I don't know. Let me know if you think that's a good idea. So they're still in their hotel uniforms. So whatever went down obviously happened at Hotel Denouement. And man, look at Sunny. She's grown up so much already. Like, wow. I don't even remember like what period of time these are supposed to cover. But yeah, let's say, I don't know, we'll say that this one is like a fair fable. I feel like everything is a fair fable. Yeah, okay. So nothing has claimed top tier or bottom tier status. So that's, I don't know, maybe not super exciting. If I had to pick a favorite cover, I think it would be Grim Grotto. I don't think it's like a beautiful cover though, but like, yeah, that one is my favorite. And I do think that Austere Academy is probably my least favorite one. So like if I absolutely had to, I would like make the tier look like this. But like, yeah. Now this tier ranking picture looks even worse. Okay, but yeah, let's talk about some miscellaneous things that I remember about the series. So their parents and Count Olaf were part of some organization called VFD, which like stood for Volunteer Fire Department. And also it stood for something else, I think. And so it was highly suspicious that their parents died in a fire. Also, I believe there was a schism within this mysterious organization. Schism was a new vocab word. So I think Olaf and like his henchmen were like wanting to break off to do bad stuff. Oh, and the symbol for the organization was an eye, which Olaf has tattooed on his ankle. So it's like this identifying mark. Anytime you see like, oh, does he have that ankle tattoo? It's Olaf. But yeah, I think that's all I remember about the series. Lots of cool new words were learned. These poor orphan kids were carted off to all these horrible places and they try to escape their greedy and creepy uncle. So, yeah, apparently that is what shaped my childhood. So, let me know what your favorite book of this series was. I think I really liked The Reptile Room and The Wide Window. Those seem to be the ones I have the most memories about, so they must have stood out in my mind for a reason, I'm guessing. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on these books. And thanks for watching. Okay, bye. Editing potato here. I forgot to talk about one of my favorite things about the whole series, which is the narrator slash author, Lemony Snicket. So it's actually a pseudonym. I think his real name is like Daniel Holder, but like he's kind of his own character in this whole story. He's like kind of a biographer of the Baudelaire siblings and all the trials and tribulations that they go through. But throughout the whole story and like even on like the back cover of the book, he's like, "Don't read this story. It's so terrible and tragic. You should put this book down and like pick up a happier book." And he has this kind of like hilarious humor like throughout the whole series. And it's kind of like constantly breaking the fourth wall. And I loved it. So yeah, I just had to talk about that. I don't know how I totally forgot about it. But yeah, okay. For real. Bye. If you're still here, thanks so much for watching. I love you. Comment a potato emoji, please.